Welcome to this edition of Action Video Game Talk. I'm your host, Scott Action Jackson. Thanks for joining us today. Now, we do have quite a bit of news to go over, so let's just hop right into it.
Fatal Frame is coming to Wii U, at least in Japan. While this new entry in the series hasn't been confirmed for a North America or Europe release, that doesn't stop us from admiring the trailer. You'll notice that the camera, a key element in the series, does make an appearance at the very end. Before that, we're treated to a spooky walk through the woods at night. We'll keep our fingers crossed that Nintendo decides to bring this title to Western shores.
So they finally announced a Fatal Frame for the Wii U, but only for Japan. And there's a trailer out there for you to look at if you want to check that out. But yeah, other than that, there's not really much about this article. I mean, hopefully you'll come over here to the US and other countries, because, you know, there has been a following for these Fatal Frame games, so hopefully they'll bring it over, but it's up to them.
The time has come. Bungie was pushing out Destiny beta codes to those that redeem vouchers, and you should be able to play. In order to access your codes, head over to bungie.net, sign in with your account. Once there, click codes at the top of the page, which will take you to your platform's specific beta vouchers. You'll have 3 codes waiting for you, so share the wealth and get your friends in the game. You had this weekend to play, but the beta came down for maintenance on Monday, July 21st. It will return on July 23rd as Xbox gamers get to join in the fun. The whole thing wraps up on July 27th, and then the long wait until September begins. If you, like many, try to redeem your Destiny beta voucher or download the content, you probably had some problems on the PlayStation Store. That's because everyone was trying to get in at the same time. The PSN store was buckling under the weight of an uncountable number of guardians rushing to the tower. Everyone was getting an error message that says the service is currently undergoing maintenance E820001F7. We think that translates to ouch, but suddenly reported via its support page that the service is intermittently available, which we think means your mileage may vary. This assumes you could even get your vouchers, as the Bungie website was also experiencing significant problems. Unfortunately, this means you probably wouldn't be able to play as soon as you'd like. When Destiny Beta launches, your experience in Bungie's massive universe is also going to exist outside the confines of your television in the form of Destiny's Compainion App. What's even more surprising is that iOS, Android, and web applications are actually useful. One of the focuses of the Compainion App is to highlight your character and progression throughout the game, and really celebrate the growth of your Guardian. The app features fully realized 3D models of each one of your characters, which will change in real time as you equip them with new weapons and armor. What's even more interesting is that the changes you make to your character in the app are instantly reflected on your character in the actual game itself. Given the RPG nature of Destiny, the app is there to help you keep track of all the statistics, progression, missions, and bounties of your characters. You can thumb through your inventory, check out which vendors are currently occupying the tower, and explore Destiny's lore through the Grimoire throughout Destiny. You unlock cards that delve a bit deeper into characters, locations, and events from Bungie's universe. The Grimoire is your gateway into fully unraveling Destiny's world and story. The free app is going to be available on iOS, Android, and web when the beta hits, and you'll be able to use it with the PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One versions of the game. One thing to note is that during the beta, the iOS version of the app will only be available on iPhones. By launch, players will be able to use a larger iPad version of the Compainion. Bungie says that a Windows Phone version is not planned. Slightly ahead of schedule, the Destiny beta is back online for PlayStation and online for the first time for Xbox. The beta was originally supposed to be down for maintenance for 2 full days, but the gun has been jumped, and it was pulled back on last night, on the 22nd.
Okay, so we're going to try and cover all these Destiny news articles in one little spot. So, when the beta distribution codes first came out, some people had no issues getting them. But when they got around to getting to the actual Sony PlayStation Store, there were issues. See, everyone was trying to jump on there at the same time, which caused them to actually crash. And then they had to do some maintenance and figure out what the frick was wrong. Meanwhile, over on Bungie's website, they were having technical issues too. So, after a long while, Sony actually got their store back up and running. People were actually able to, get their beta downloaded for the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. Me, personally, it took me about 2 days to install the PlayStation 4 beta. Why? I don't know. Hopefully Bungie will figure out what the fuck was wrong here, especially if I've heard other people have issues with this too, and hopefully Sony will have something to help this along. Now, apparently this Destiny Compainion App does seem like it's a nice thing. I mean, you can actually track all your equipment, all your status, your actual mission status too, so. And then there was supposed to be a maintenance going on for Destiny that was supposed to take place Monday and Tuesday. But last night, on Tuesday night, they actually had the beta back up again. And they had it available for the Xbox owners to play. So, now everyone should be able to play the Destiny beta. But then again, knowing Bungie, there was probably some kind of issues. And then I think this coming Saturday, if I remember this right, this coming Saturday at like 2 p.m. I don't know if that's 2 p.m. here, 2 p.m. over there, and like wherever Bungie is, but on Saturday they're supposed to have something that they're going to give out to people who are playing the beta that will actually stay and carry over into the full game. Now, me, I would like to see a lot more than just one little item carry over to the full game. I mean, it would be nice if you'd be able to, like, bring over our character, or maybe some of the equipment, but so far, it's just going to be a clean sweep. They're going to get rid of all that stuff, probably just going to have this one item, and that's about it.
In a new interview, director Seth Gordon details the production timeline for his movie adaptation of Naughty Dog's Uncharted game series. In an interview with Zap2It, Gordon said shooting should begin very early next year. That's the plan. He also talked a little bit about the game's settings, and that the shooting should take place all over the world. Gordon is also looking for a lead actor to portray Nathan Drake after Mark Wahlberg dropped out of the project after the departure of director David O. Russell. Gordon said, "I want it to be a great actor. That's number one. And then if it's someone who has an actual jaw, that's even better. The game is so well done that you need it to live up to that. There's no way that we do inverse that where it's somebody famous who can't act. It's going to honor the mythology of the game," said Gordon. "But I would say honor some of the most interesting stuff from the first one and build from there," he says. "There's stuff that isn't in the game."
Now, I do agree with what this director is saying. I mean, we would rather have an actor who can actually act for this role of Nathan Drake than somebody who can't. Then again, people have been tossing around a few names of people, especially the actor who actually voiced the guy. But then again, I guess they want this Uncharted movie to be a franchise, so you gotta have somebody who's gonna be around for the long run. Now, me, when I read this one thing saying that there was more in this movie that's not in the game, every time when I think about the Uncharted series, as far as the video games, all it reminds me of is a split between Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones. Now, I got a feeling the Uncharted movie was going to feel a lot like Indiana Jones, just a little bit different. But a lot of people, I know I've said this before with other, video game movies, but they already wrapped up, I guess, some production on the World of Warcraft movie. There's supposed to be an Assassin's Creed movie. There's supposed to be this Uncharted movie. I'm guessing a lot of, other people wanting to do more video game movies is all depending on how World of Warcraft... No, wait, it's only going to be Warcraft, though. I forgot. But it all depends on how that first movie goes through.
The long-awaited return of classic Sony characters may finally be near. In a recent interview with Telegraph, Sony President Andrew House left open the possibility that Sony could revive Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. In concept, it's something we've been thinking about and discussing, and this is a shift for us. We've started to say that maybe there isn't anything wrong with going back and looking at characters that people still talk about, that were part of their childhood or their youth. I definitely wouldn't close the door on that, said House. Crash Bandicoot hit the shelves back in 1996, followed by 3 more Crash games on the original PlayStation. The franchise was sold to Activision in the early 2000s, with the last game appearing in 2008 on PlayStation 2, PSP, Xbox 360, Wii, and Nintendo DS. Last year, there was speculation that Sony purchased Crash from Activision, but an Activision spokesperson denied the rumors.
I like this idea of bringing back Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. I mean, they had a good little franchise going on the PlayStation 1 and all the other systems that they had. I mean, especially with the Crash Bandicoot had this last game on the PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. Now, it'd be nice if they tried to do like a whole reboot of the franchise, but maybe try to be like a reboot and a continuation. But yeah, this will be fun to see what they do with it. I mean, first, I guess Sony has to get the rights back from Activision or try and figure something out. Because I know Activision did use Spyro in the Skylanders, so that might be an issue with them.
Microsoft is hitting San Diego this month for the annual Comic-Con International, and the company is giving Halo fans a few reasons to set aside some time. In addition to providing attendees with the first look at the digital series Halo Nightfall, 343 Industries is holding a developer panel for the upcoming Halo the Master Chief Collection. On Thursday, July 24th, from 11:45 to 12:45 p.m., Halo executive producer Kiki Wolfkill and franchise development director Frank O'Connor will talk about Halo Nightfall, along with the members of the show's cast and crew. Halo Nightfall is a live-action digital show set in the Halo universe, timed to come out around the release of the Halo Master Chief Collection. O'Connor returns the following day to discuss the Halo Collection from 10:30 to 11:15 a.m. He's joined by senior producer Dennis Rees and online design lead Max Haberman. And they'll talk about bringing the game's story and multiplayer to new audiences on Xbox One. As we grow nearer to the release of Halo Nightfall this fall, and the eventual release of Halo 5 Guardians, we're starting to learn more about the mysterious new character featured in the key art. Agent Locke's role in the upcoming miniseries has been cast, and we have new details about the actor and the character. Mike Coulter, pictured above as Agent Locke, has been in a number of television programs including The Good Wife, The Following, and American Horror Story Coven. He's also been in films such as Zero Dark 30 and $1 Million Baby. Agent Locke, who we see unmasked for the first time, is with the Office of Naval Intelligence, ONI. His team is called in to investigate terrorists on a human colony. there's an artifact touches off the events of Nightfall. The series will be produced by Ridley Scott and directed by Sergio Michagaza.
So apparently Comic-Con is going to have so much stuff going on. I mean, I'm guessing this means the San Diego Comic-Con. But they're going to be able to, I guess, was it a preview? Yeah. People are going to be getting a first look at the actual Halo Nightfall live-action series. And not only that, but we also now know who this Agent Locke is going to look like. And the actual actor who's portraying him, so. But I'm guessing, they're supposed to have the whole cast at the San Diego Comic-Con for, I guess, maybe like a Q&A or something like that. But, more than likely they'll probably post some of the stuff up on like YouTube so you can check it out, so.
A new posting on XboxAchievements.com suggests a new Kinect Ninja Turtles game may be in development. The game is titled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Training Lair and is, according to the site, being published by Activision. 12 achievements are also listed, but besides that, no other information is available. The only further potential information about this game comes from the user Life Lower, a self-titled XBLA watchdog who posted this image several days ago. It's hard to make out exactly what's going on, but the weapons being used resemble closely those of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles' trademark characters. Late last month, developer Magic Pockets announced that they were working on a new TMNT game for the 3DS to release in tandem with the upcoming film. Might this also have some connection with the new film?
Now, I looked at these images they showed for this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles training lair, and all it reminds me of is that weird, I guess, lightsaber video of some dude like doing spins and, an overweight guy going spins and stuff with, apparently he was doing it with a stick, but they lit it up to look like a lightsaber. But this is supposed to be a Kinect-only game, but it doesn't say if it's going to be Xbox One Kinect or if it's going to be like a 360 Kinect. Because that's going to make a whole lot of difference. But with the way this thing looks, I'd say a 360 one. But from what I saw from the picture, it looks like crap. Yeah, you're able to, I guess, use the Ninja Turtles weapons for, I guess, ninja stars being thrown at you or whatever, but it seems like a good idea, but the only thing they should be focusing on is like some of the older games that people enjoyed. But then again, they were talking about an actual 3DS game that's going to be focused on the movie that's coming out. And as far as the actual movie that's being made, that's only produced by Michael Bay, not directed. So that'll probably mean a few less random explosions. But as far as the movie itself, I don't know how I feel. I mean, to me, the biggest turnoff was Megan Fox as April O'Neil.
After a previous delay, Bethesda's chilling survival horror game's release has now been moved up a week. The game, which is being developed by Tango Gameworks, a studio founded by Resident Evil creator Shinji Minagami, has been slated for August, but was eventually moved back to an October 21st launch. At QuakeCon, Bethesda announced that the game will hit store shelves a week earlier, on October 14th.
So The Evil Within is going to be released a little bit earlier than planned. So I'm guessing they probably figured out some of their bugs and got them fixed. Because most of the people have seen the trailers and stuff to see how spooky this game really is. And I got a feeling this is going to be really, really scary. Not as scary as, say, like some of the other games out there like Slender. But this is, from what I can tell, this is going to feel as spooky as the first Resident Evil game.
Harmonix has issued a survey in order to gauge interest in the future of the Rock Band franchise. In the franchise asks, with what frequency players will play Rock Band? Whether they would like to see a new Rock Band on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Wii U, and whether they still have their Rock Band instruments. Harmonix is currently working on Fantasia, Music Evolved, Chroma, Amplitude, and Dance Central Spotlight. So if a new Rock Band were to arrive, Harmonix would have to get a few new projects out of the way first.
Oh, Harmonix. Why do you have to do this? So, Harmonix had a survey asking if people want a new generation Rock Band and if people still have instruments. Little fact here, all the instruments from the Rock Band games are just USB plugins. So with technology the way it is, you should just be able to plug it in to any system. Any. But no. Knowing Harmonix, if they go ahead and make a new generation Rock Band game, they'll probably throw in, a whole band bundle. But it's like, what kind of songs are going to be on this though? I mean, is it going to have some of the crappy new age stuff on it, or will they actually try and put like some good classic songs? I don't know, it just depends on what Harmonix decides to do. I mean, they have a shitload of games that they still have to make and bring out first, so.
Chroma Squad is a title based on the Sentai style of science fiction, in which a team of costume heroes pilot robot vehicles. It seems Saban, the studio that owns the Power Ranger franchise, is leveling an ultimatum at Chroma Squad's developer Brazil's Behold Studios. According to a report on US Gamer that sources a Behold Studios Kickstarter backer-only update, Saban approached Beholder with a choice. A tiny 6-person studio could either allow Saban to partner for a part of the proceeds, or the two could duke it out in court. Behold remains that Chroma Squad is a strategy title that tasks player with acting out scenes and leveling up actors, is a parody of a larger cultural phenomenon that Saban doesn't own. However, it seems Behold is concerned about going to court and sees the situation as win-win. The title will be out on Steam later this summer, and a new version will be distributed to backers in the coming days.
So on this news article, it is a win-win situation for this video game company who's doing this Chroma Squad. I mean, either they could go to court with Saban and actually win, because this isn't based on the Power Ranger series, it is based on the Sentai series, but then again, it's also based on actors playing characters in the Sentai series. But then again, if they team up with Bandai, they could probably actually use more of the official Power Rangers stuff here in America. So yes, it is win-win, not only for them, but it could be win-win for the people who actually play the game.
With 3 huge titles set to release on October 7th, EA is the first to blink. Dragon Age Inquisition will now be released on November 18th. BioWare has decided it needs more time to get it right. We appreciate the enormous support we've received from all of you to get to this point. And while this extra few weeks may not seem like a lot, I know the game you'll play will be all the better for it, wrote executive producer Mark Dara. EA also delayed the release of Battlefield Hardline to 2015 also. The company announced strong first quarter financials and projects a healthy finish to the current financial year.
We had a lot of video games that were due out on October 7th. And hearing that one game is only delayed for maybe a month might be good. I mean, it'll be a lot better for gamers' wallets. But I mean, if they want to get an additional month to maybe, work on some more stuff, it's like, go ahead, let them work on some more stuff. I mean, if they want to fine-tune some bugs or anything like that, let them. But I mean, people are going to be getting the Dragon Age Inquisition game either way. The only problem is, it's just going to be a month later.
In a recent interview with Mad Catz, Mortal Kombat X creative director Ed Boon spoke about the possibility of guest characters making an appearance in the game as DLC. That, guest characters, was something that was embraced in Injustice Gods Among Us, and in Mortal Kombat, Boon said, noting that Freddy Krueger and Scorpion were the most downloaded characters in Mortal Kombat and Injustice Gods Among Us respectively, I think there's a novelty to having a downloaded guest character, so I think the chances are pretty high. I don't think every single one of them will be a guest, but I think the chances of at least one of them will be pretty good.
So, who doesn't like guest characters in video games? I mean, of course people remember, there was guest characters in the Mortal Kombat reboot type game. We had Freddy Krueger, and I think that was about it, except for the PlayStation 3. They had Kratos from the God of War series. And Injustice Gods Among Us did have Scorpion. So, yeah, it would be nice if this Mortal Kombat X does have, maybe one, at least two guest characters. I mean, considering what they've done in the past, they could try another horror franchise character. I mean, they did Freddy. They could maybe do Jason for the next one. Or maybe they could just try and tap into another character that would fit right in with the Mortal Kombat franchise.
Disney and Sony announced that Marvel Superheroes 2.0 edition is getting a collector's edition for both PlayStation platforms as well as a PlayStation 3 bundle. The two products can be pre-ordered at this year's San Diego Comic-Con. The Marvel Superheroes Collector's Edition comes with the Disney Infinity 2.0 Starter Pack, all 6 Avengers playset figures, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and Hulk, and a light-up display featuring the Avengers fighting off a Frost Beast. This edition, which is available for PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3, will set you back $179.99. Sony also plans to sell a 12GB PlayStation 3 bundle for $249 that includes a Marvel Superheroes Starter Pack featuring Iron Man, Thor, and Black Widow. Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes 2.0 edition is coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, Wii U, PC, and iOS on September 23rd, with a Vita version slated to release sometime in 2015.
So, remember a while back at E3, when at the Sony press conference, they said the Hulk was going to be exclusive to the Sony version of the Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes. Well, it looks like the Hulk is actually listed here for this collector's edition, but for the actual 12GB PlayStation 3 bundle, the Hulk isn't even in that. So, what the fuck, Sony? I mean, I hope this means that they will release the Hulk later on, but the Hulk was supposed to be part of the actual starter set when you're getting it for the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. What's wrong with you? And this collector's edition for this Marvel Superheroes does look awesome. You got this thing that you can put the Avengers on and have this Frost Giant figure that you're going to end up fighting in the game. But the price tag on this collector's edition is $180. $180. Why? I mean, wouldn't it be cheaper just to get the additional figures separately?
WWE 2K15 is getting a pre-order bonus in the form of the wrestling icon Sting. Anyone who pre-orders the title on PS4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, or Xbox 360 will receive 2 versions of the character. The first modeled off the Sting in his black and white crow face-painted guys from the WCW Monday Night War, while the other shows off the blonde, buzz-cut look he displayed before. The only thing for sure about Sting is nothing's for sure, except my debut in WWE 2K15, said Sting. I'm honored to have my legacy immortalized in a video game. It's showtime! The latest installment of the popular franchise is set to hit PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 on October 28th in North America and on October 31st internationally.
The icon Sting. The Stinger. Now, I saw this trailer, or teaser trailer, talking about how Sting is going to be a pre-order bonus for WWE 2K15. But then again, I saw, I guess, the reaction of the fans when they showed it on Monday Night Raw. When they were showing, the whole orchestra playing his old WCW Crow era theme song, and then they actually showed Sting turn around and you see his face, the fans were loving it. But then on the screen they said, pre-order bonus for WWE 2K15, all the fans booed. Because the fans want to see him in the WWE, inside of a ring. I mean, he doesn't have to wrestle. I mean, he could make an actual appearance and maybe talk for a bit, or maybe do some kind of on-screen non-wrestling role for a while. I mean, he has gone on record and saying that he wants to have one last hurrah match. But, I mean, this is great that you'll be able to actually have an official Sting, not just the Crow Sting, but the actual 90s blonde, well, I think I said buzz cut in this article, but it's more like flat top. The blonde flat top, like surfer Sting. So, that'll do for this episode of Action Video Game Talk. Once again, thanks for watching. And if you want to, I will put down a link down below in the description for the Facebook page if you want to go over there and check things out. I know I probably have some links over there from the previous episodes and all the actual separate clips I have from the previous episodes too, which I will also do with this episode. I'll have the clips up later on after I post the full episode. So if you want to, go over there, give us a like, go down below the screen here, give us a like down there, and then subscribe if you want to keep following us. I think that's about it, so until next time, bye.